Southern Command was lost. More than half our troops were lost with it.
That's it? You'd think it would be basically everyone.
Cartwright and Hale. Many more would have been killed, myself included. We were flying the survivors.
This is completely at odds with how virulent we were told this disease was.
Despite my insistence, Hale refused to board the last plane. The last time I saw Hale, he was looking over a map Cartwright had given him. I learned later that it detailed the known paths of the power conduits. The conduits only run above ground for a short distance before burrowing deep into the Cimmerian tunnels. Entering those tunnels is nothing short of suicide.
But that didn't stop Nathan Hale.
That is exactly what Hale did.
Yeah. Because he's so awesome. Especially the part where he has no definable character traits whatsoever, and he has a very boring face and doesn't talk. What a great character. If he at least looked a little more distinctive, I'd give him that. You know, Gordon Freeman doesn't talk, but, you know, he doesn't just look like generically gruff soldier, and the HEV suit is very distinctive. So as an image, he's a little more striking than just guy. Also, we never see him in cutscenes, so he's not really treated as a character. Half-Life and Half-Life 2 take place entirely in-game. There's never a point where it goes into third person and we see Gordon Freeman standing in a cutscene in front of the camera, you know? Since you're always in his shoes, he kind of just becomes you. And so you're less aware of the fact that he's a non-character. But with Nathan Hale, we see him in front of the camera, and he doesn't really say or do anything other than just be generically gruff. And he's not visually distinctive, he just looks like Guy. But when you see that in front of a camera in a cutscene, it stands out more that he's a non-character than somebody like Gordon Freeman or Master Chief. Master Chief also has the benefit that, again, he's very visually distinctive. He doesn't just look like generic soldier man. You also have the benefit that there are, even if Master Chief himself is not exactly dripping with personality, the people around him are a little more distinctive. You know, he doesn't talk much, but say Cortana does. So you got that going on.
You look nice.
Thank you.
Or like Johnson, he's got some personality to him.
Crazy fool. Why do you always jump? One of these days, you're gonna land on something as stubborn as you are. And I don't do bits and pieces.
So that kind of makes up for Chief being, again, meant to be essentially you. So they've left him intentionally vague. Of course, in something like Half-Life and Halo, the main character not being much of a character seems entirely intentional. Especially with Gordon Freeman. He has no personality because he's supposed to be you. You become him by playing the game, rather than having a personality ascribed to you. And it's sort of the same thing with Chief, though not quite to the same degree, because we do see Chief in scenes. But nonetheless, it feels intentional, where here it just feels like they didn't bother to make Hale interesting, rather than that being a deliberate choice. He's a bit boring, is my point. Not only does Hale not say much or do much, but no one else does either, really. Closest thing we had to someone kind of likable was Cartwright, and he's in like 2 scenes. One of which was pretty badass. He took over a Stalker somehow, I'll give him that, but still don't really... I couldn't describe him as a character, other than he's British. I do like all the ground detail in here. There's all the little bitty stalagmites. Something you don't usually see rendered in caves in video games is tiny stalagmites on the general path. You usually just have the big ones to the side, like the columns and stalagmites and stalactites and shit. So it fills the general playable movement space with a little more detail than if it was just this texture on the ground and then big stalagmites and columns and stuff. It's a decent looking environment. It's very monochrome, again, of course, but that goes without saying at this point. I like these light designs too. Lots of fins on them. I like flanges and fins. no dust floating in it, though. Something you see some games render. Particles floating in shafts of light. Have a grenade. Wow. That was actually really effective.
X-ray 3, maintain safe observation distance. Confirmation of Grayskin's regenerative ability is priority 1. X5 needs all available intel for target recovery.
Yet we definitely know they have a regenerative ability.
X-ray, aerial surveillance has tracked Grayskin into tunnel network.
Oh, I'm Grayskin. Oh, okay. I thought by Grayskin they just meant Chimera.
Loud extrapolation indicates your present course terminates in red structure. Extent of defense is unknown. Recommend proceed with extreme caution. Unobserved support of target is acceptable.
Interesting. Well, somebody's looking for me, or following me, observing me from a distance. Or at least that was the implication, that Grayskin was me. Because it says, yeah, confirmed that he's entered the network. Well, that would be me. Ooh, nice mist effect here. Yes, it's moody. Wow, it actually gave me some ammo. I'm guessing this is an arena where we do a protracted standoff. Ooh, intel. Hold on, I want to read this. Stop shooting me for a moment. We were hunting down a group of Cloven when the Chimera ambushed us. Sergeant Drake and I separated from the squad. We finally found them, or at least what was left, as we buried the remains. We could hear the Cloven all around us, laughing. I wanted to go after them, but there were only 2 of us and at least a dozen of them. 2 days later, the Cloven have been following us all day, just out of rifle range. They're toying with us. Drake didn't come back from gathering water. He had the only compass. Shouldn't everyone have a compass? You'd think that'd be standard equipment. I hear the Cloven all around. Strange sounds no human should make. They're getting louder. Yeah, strange sounds no humans should make. It's pretty clear at this point the Cloven kind of aren't human. Whatever the fuck they are. It's just weird. The game makes reference to these Cloven, and they're like continually mentioned in intel, and yet they don't factor into the game at all, because we never really see them. Oh my god, there's so many fucking enemies. Well, this would be fine if there weren't the spindly things running up to me, because that renders cover useless because I have to keep moving. And the most effective weapon against them is, of course, the shotgun, which has a terrible rate of fire. As long as I take them out right when they come up, I should be fine. It's just when they all start getting out and spazzing out, and that's when they overrun me. Ooh, behind me. There it is. Okay, wait, was that it? It felt like they were more last time. Oh yeah, this thing. I forgot I had this. Skill point acquired. This is my house. What did I do? Don't let any Chimera stand on the mining platform in the Chimeran tunnels for more than 10 seconds. Oh, that's very specific. You could only get that one by accident, really. Karma's a bitch. Fuck if I know what that is. It's just really annoying that they don't tell me what the challenges are. My only options are to get them by accident or look it up online, and constantly pausing the game, grabbing my phone, and then like Googling it, and then reading it, and then setting my phone down, and then going back to the game is not my idea of a fun way to play a game. But my only way to get those skill points, if I wanted to be a completionist and get all of those, I would have to look them up, because there's no way to know what any of them are. I mean, the name is kind of a hint, but since most of them are jokey or punny, it's not necessarily a literal description of what the thing was. Like, this is my house. You'd never guess that that means what that skill point actually was. You'd know from the name it has something to do with kicking ass or keeping enemies at bay, but you wouldn't really be able to infer any more specific than that. Ooh. Well, the conduits have gone transparent, and they look sweet. Oh my god, red. There's some color. Wow. Was the person who made this conduit fired immediately afterwards for breaking the rules and putting color in the game? It's kind of veiny. The fact that it is red and twisted through does make it look more like veins. It does seem like these guys, I've forgotten what they're called. Slipskulls, that's what they're called. Yes. It does seem like they, when they're hopping on the walls, these ones all hopped to the same 3 points. Even separate enemies kept going between that point and that point. So do they move to fixed points on the walls rather than the AI kind of randomly picking where to go? In other words, could I just line up my crosshair on the fixed points they hop to and just hold the trigger down? Like, it looked like they were always going to the same one. Which would be a weird way to program that. You'd think you'd just let them move around freely. I mean, I guess it would be easier to design because you wouldn't have to worry about having to design the AI pathing to not clip into things or get stuck on things. It'd be easier to implement, but it does make them more predictable than they should be for a thing that likes jumping around on the walls. It's kind of neat, though. And these updrafts to jump cable to cable. I don't know why the room would be designed this way, though. It's a bit transparently gamey because I can't see the Chimera actually building it this way. And it's not like those fans are just incidentally there because there'd be no other way to get up to where I am than to do what I just did. So do they all have to do that when they want to get up here? Seems a bit unsafe, although I guess I wouldn't expect the Chimera to have some equivalent of OSHA. I want to set off the explosives. The aim assist keeps pulling me off of it. And now the enemies are nowhere near the explosives, so it was an exercise in futility. Ooh, there's intel there. Lieutenant Cartwright's sending us after a pack of Cloven in the morning. Should be a laugh, sleeping under the stars all night, hunting Russian maniacs all day. We spotted a pack of Cloven today. We'll rest up and hit them tonight. They knew we were coming. We found them hanging from a birch tree. They'd cut out their own tongues. Each one had a picture jammed in their mouth. It must be their leader. Who the hell is this guy that he commands such loyalty? Okay, why isn't the game about the Cloven? They sound exceedingly interesting. How do I get down from here? I can't go back up because it's too high up. Can I survive this fall here? Oh, nope, I can't. Well, how the hell do I get back down from there? Since an intel persists through death, I guess I don't have to hop to there again, which solves the problem. Okay, I want to watch these guys. So, yeah. It does look... They're clearly going to fixed points, or it kind of looks like they're going to fixed points. Kind of equally spaced ones as well. The points they're going to seem to be on like an almost perfect grid pattern. Where it seems like every time they jump around it's the same amount, or same distance. Okay, so I think that's the one Intel's on. So maybe from the far edge I could land down on that fan there. Maybe that's the way you're supposed to go down. But no matter, we got the intel, so it's fine. Barely. I do wish when we were walking around on this stuff, with all the little tiny stalagmites and debris, if we had really crunchy footsteps. Like I was stepping on those stalagmites and breaking them. It'd be kind of a neat touch. Apparently that grenade didn't get the job done. Not surprising. They don't give you nearly enough hedgehogs. Those things, I want to be throwing those things constantly. They're so much fun. Look at all these flanges. Oh, these are good because there's a light source below them, glowing upward, giving them some shape. Punch.
We believe Hale followed the Cimmerian tunnels for several miles, finally reaching a major conduit junction. This would have led him directly
It's a nice illustration.
to a Cimmerian tower.
It's kind of sketchy and rough. I like it.
Most likely what we now know as C3. Each tower is named for its relative position in the conduit network. C3 is only 12 miles from the center. It would have been exceedingly well defended.
Now see, this is good. We're in these tunnels, in the underground tunnel network. We're seeing a lot more proper sci-fi stuff. Like I was saying earlier at the conversion center. All these spikes and flanges and conduits and tubes and shit is much more interesting than just rocks and dirt. Which unfortunately is most of the game. I do wish more of the game was this sort of thing. I'm glad we get it at all. But I would prefer if like most of the game was in this sort of setting, as opposed to outdoors with dirt and rocks. Also, the monochromatic problem, where everything's kind of the same color, it's a lot more excusable when everything's made out of steel. Or metal, you know? That would be more monochromatic. When you're out in nature, you expect a little more color. So I would actually excuse the flatness if more of the game took place in locations like this. Because it doesn't bother me here as much as it does outdoors. The lack of color. Although, again, like I said earlier, I do wish the game was in black and white. I think that would actually fit this game really well. Ooh, a rocket launcher. The LAARK. Light anti-armor rocket was originally designed for use against Russian armored divisions. Since the Chimeran invasion, it has been successful against the Stalker and other heavy vehicles. Once fired, LAARK rockets are capable of user-guided maneuverability. Holding L1 will slow the rocket, allowing it to be reoriented in flight. Aiming the reticle at any desired target will steer the rocket in the designated direction. The higher the pressure on L1, the slower the rocket will go. Holding R1 after firing will release auto-guided munitions. The higher the pressure on L1... Does the PS3 have pressure sensitivity? I didn't know it did. I know the PS2 did. I thought they removed that feature. Well, it's 2 shots before you fire, because that's what Halo did. And Halo did it because that's what Marathon did. I'm a little disappointed our last weapon's just a rocket launcher. I generally don't like explosive weapons in video games. They're a bit sloppy, sloppy and brutish for my tastes. Although I like that it's steerable. It sounds like from the description it works like Half-Life, where it just flies to the thing you're pointing at. But the ability to slow the rocket in flight to get more direct, to get more accurate reorienting, that's a very interesting idea. That would Half-Life 1 does not have that feature. So that's potentially kind of cool. But I'll have to see how it actually works. It might be underwhelming. I do love the ricochet, though. And I like the sound of the ricochet, especially in here with the nice reverb. Oh, yeah. See, that sounds kind of cool. All right. Impress me, Sapper. The detection radius on them blowing up could use some work, though. You pretty much gotta touch it for it to go off. Also, it seems to be... yeah. Right there. It's not... Frustratingly... It seems to be too generously magnetized to bodies. I was trying to shoot it past those bodies, and I really couldn't, because it kept just sticking to the thing on the ground in front of me. Even though I was aiming quite a ways up. I like it for those. The leapers, I think they're called. It could stand to have a little more range, though. I don't know, it's kind of a cool gun, but... I like it in theory, I think, more than in execution. It needs more range, the mines themselves need to have a little more detection radius, or blast radius, or something. It's just not quite there. It's not as satisfying as it should be, I guess is what I'm saying. Even though I like the design of it. You're still up there, I believe. Oh yes, yes you are. Not the best explosion effect in the world. Like all the explosion sounds in this game, it's lacking high frequencies, which makes it just a bit dull. It's just sort of a poof, instead of a nice sharp like crack and then like debris scattering and, you know, more high frequency elements. It's just sort of a dull puff. I mean, you need the big whump of, you know, bass and low frequencies, but you want to bolster that out with some high frequencies as well. So that sounds big and powerful, because if it's just a dull thump, they get kind of... Well, it's dull, you know. Ooh, I got some Hailstorm. I guess that's permission to use it. Are you mad? Yeah, you're actually active. Okay. I have a rocket. And a grenade. Just throw lots of grenades. Did he trip stepping over the edge there? Well, The LAARK is indeed very effective against stalkers, although you don't get to carry much ammo for it, so you better hope you're at full capacity before you encounter a stalker. Which if I wasn't, that would have gone very differently.
We had been at Cardiff for several hours when I received a radio message from Hale.
It was just a bunch of grunting noises.
And he asked if snow was normal for July. He described a tower in the middle of London, one far bigger than that which they had found in Somerset, and with power conduits emerging in all directions.
Seems like something somebody would have noticed.
If we destroy the tower, we destroy the Chimera. For all I knew, Hale was completely mad. And even if what he was saying was true, we had no idea how to destroy the tower.
A nuke?
But there was one new factor working in our favor. I had been able to contact the Americans, and they had joined forces with us in Cardiff.
Did they actually brief their troops this time?
But Hale was right. I convinced the Americans to help launch a full assault on the tower.
Why not just nuke it?
We were bringing everything we had to London. I was counting on Hale to clear out a landing zone. If he couldn't take out the stalkers, the mission would be over before it began.
Do we really need to clear a landing zone? Like, just pound the hell out of it with artillery from a distance. I mean, I know it's big, but I'm pretty sure a nuke would still do the trick. And that he's just... And now I have control. See, that was totally pointless. You could have just started the level where you started it, like this, and just given me control immediately, and I would have looked around exactly like he just did. It's so bizarre they do that. It's an interesting toilet design. It's like a ticket booth, except it's a shitter. I can't get inside. I guess I'm gonna have to shit my pants instead. That table has a table. Ooh, I can break all this shit. Excellent. Fuck your crates and barrels. Interesting reverb on that. Long, cold. Yep, that seems to be the best use of the Sapper, honestly. Is leapers and rollers. Thanks for continually hopping out to the same location. Paintings in very ugly frames. Like, I mean, look how gaudy that thing is. It's all wibbly around the edges and has all the extra shit on it. Ugh. I don't like big gaudy frames. I mean, I have an awful lot of frames on the wall, and all of them have absolutely tiny, like, the most minimal just black frame I could possibly get, so that there's basically no frame and it's all just image. Never understood the point of a big ugly frame protruding well beyond the frame of the well beyond the bounds of the image, you know, where like the frame has as much surface area total as the image contains. I never liked that sort of thing. And like very decorated frames always look tacky to me. I just want the frame to go away. Yeah, I want it basically to look like there's just an image on the wall. Oh god, the aim assist is just making me want to die. It actually makes it harder to hit the enemies because it's fighting me correcting it. Look how tiny those napkins are too. It's puny. Although it has a surprisingly detailed texture. You can see all the texture on the corner that generic napkins often have. I think they set the scale wrong because they seem way too small to be useful as napkins, but that is a shockingly detailed texture if you zoom all the way into it. Because like from here, they look untextured. They just look like undetailed squares, but if you zoom way in, they are in fact highly detailed. Oh my god, there's so much glass to play with here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like it when it breaks out in bigger chunks like that, where the cracks run up and it carves out a nice big piece. I don't think there's anything in these side rooms, but it's worth a look. More shitters? Oh, this guy died face down in a shitter. Oof. You might leave that part out when they report his death to his next of kin. Seems like it should be more effective than it is. Save the ammo. Just use the carbine. Do these rollers actually do anything when they reach you? I'm not sure one's actually done anything to me yet. Oh, there we go. I think I'm getting munched. Yes. There. It would seem they leap at you when they reach you, which I probably could have guessed. Oh, that's just a piece moving around. I was gonna say, it sounds like there's one behind me. Ooh, now there's a death pose. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Get off my railing. Is that aim assist fucking me again? You know, I should just punch guys more. It's actually pretty effective. I think that texture is set up wrong. Yeah, the other walls don't look stretched. Ugh, I think they just fucked up that one wall. It's a shame there's only one glass impact sound, because right there, it was just the same sound over and over and over. Well, I'm glad to see some snow. It was referenced in that scene, of course. Oh, but it's nice to be actually out in it. I think this bit would look nicer if it was snowing. So we had like a, you know, some screen effect of more coming down, but it's nice to see it at all. Texture's not great, and it's rendered a bit flat. Snow's actually pretty reflective. It's got a little bit of sheen to it, but it should have like a sparkly glisten to it. It's a bit flat. Not the best looking snow, but it's fine. Although that's a little weird. Okay, man. What are you doing? Yeah, see, their chunks rolling around sound almost exactly like them rolling around. So when you kill one and turn around, suddenly you hear that rolling sound behind you and go, oh, there's another one. And it's just the bits of the one you just killed. Let's shoot everyone through here. It's going through multiple surfaces. This should be pretty powerful. Although it's really hard to tell if I'm actually aiming at them. Oh, screw it. I'll just go out and shoot them. Interesting transition to indoors. Oh yeah. Specularity on that thing is only drawn in at a certain distance. Because angle's not changing. So it's not because I'm reaching the angle where it's reflective. It's just not calculated that far out. Don't put that there when naturally I'm going to be looking at it when I go down that hallway, which is going to show off that your effect only has a certain rendering distance. Just don't put that there. And I would never have noticed that. Central command is sealed from top to bottom. We might suffocate, but we won't choke on the crawlers. Burrowers tunneled in with a pack of Slipskulls. The Chimera are getting creative. What, digging is creative? We're on round-the-clock patrols now. They burrowed in again. This time it wasn't Chimera in the tunnel, it was the River Thames. Almost 14,000 soldiers drowned inside the base. Less than 200 survived. It won't be long now. 14,000, god damn. And he died face down on a manky old mattress. Ew, it's got stains. Oh, I said manky, but I didn't expect actual rendered stains on it. Ew. Oh, that's great. That is a proper hotel mattress. Damn it, stop shooting me. I'm checking the mattresses for stains. Come on, just let me shoot you. There. Was that a broken radio, I guess? Front panel smashed off. Shouldn't be using the shotgun for this. Well, that guy was stuck. Turned out alright. Oh. Oh. We got some weird-ass collision going on there. The table and the lamp colliding together, I think, vibrated enough that the drawer came out. I didn't even realize the drawers could open. It's like there's actually a sound for it, too. Unless that's just the sound for the table creaking, like moving around. Ah, yes, that was a destroyed radio. Okay. I didn't realize they had a destroyed state. Which is nice that they do. Okay. The shotgun's actually effective at more range than its crosshair turning red, it seems. Still, most of the pellets miss, but you can hit things even with the crosshair not turning red. Which usually in games, if the crosshair isn't red with a shotgun, that means you're not going to really do much.
I'm sending some heavy equipment to your position. You'll need to get to a clearing. A big clearing.
Look how relaxed he is. I mean, bloodstains, yeah, I mean, maybe he's dead, but he just looks like he's super relaxed. Like that's an excellent couch. Or sofa, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It looks a little bit, there's a staircase here where it goes up the center and splits to the sides. It's a little bit like the staircase in the central room of Resident Evil, although we don't have some idiot going, "Whoa, this hall is dangerous." Although I guess now we do. End of the level.
I'm outside. Where are you?
Every time he talks, I've forgotten he can.
Sergeant. We're coming in heavy and a little low.
Well, so much for that. Oh, and it didn't even look damaged, it just sort of fell straight down on a linear, interpolated track. Which wouldn't have been as distracting if they didn't do it in an extreme close-up. Alright, we have to take out a Stalker, and I think I'm out of rockets. I have one. Alright. Good thing this sheet metal structure here is bulletproof. Okay. That's one good hit. I was hoping there was rocket ammo in there, but there isn't. That should be pretty much hitting its core, right? Does that not work with the Auger? Shooting through it? I tried that earlier and it didn't seem to do much, and it doesn't seem to be doing much here either. What would be the most effective against it? I don't really know. I don't have other explosive weapons, really. I guess I could try to get an auto turret behind it. Or does it lose track of me if I stay in here? Oh, it does. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I should have been doing that all along. I figured it would just know where I am. Okay. That worked. Oh god, it's one of these. Will this do anything? Yes, it will. I love the way those things blow up into chunks. It's just wonderful. More games need jibs. They were super common in shooters in the 90s where characters would just blow into chunks, but it really went out of style. Also, we now have snow falling, which I said I wanted earlier, and I'm glad it's here now. Also, weirdly, there seems to be motion blur on the snow when I look around, when there isn't really motion blur on anything else, which is actually a little bit distracting. It's also nice that it is actually, you see particles, where you see snowflakes actually zigzagging, waving on their way down instead of just, and they're swirling, they're changing direction. Look at that, they're now coming straight down when they were going left before. And they're waving around, they swirl out. So it's not just like falling, and now they're going left again. Look at that, they're actually doing wind direction. Holy shit. That's a much more detailed snowfall than I see in a lot of games, where they all just sort of kind of fall at a fixed angle. That it's actually changing so that it's going left in the wind, and then the wind kind of dies down and it falls straight down. Oh, that's fantastic. You might not even notice they did the changing direction if you didn't hold still and look at it like I'm doing. It's going left and then they stop, yeah. Fantastic. Oh, what is that? Yeah, I can't blow that up. Oh wow, they only go down in a couple hits. Although the aim is still really twitchy. Man, the falling snow just looks really good. Just as I'm turning the camera around and you see all the many different swirly angles, it's properly random instead of just like a straight basic pattern. Perfect. Oh, another one. Of course. You know, if tanks are this effective, why did Europe fall in like 3 months? Or whatever they said. One guy in a tank is doing a pretty good job. Because if you had a whole bunch of guys and a whole bunch of tanks, what's the problem? These bullets are really slow. Oh god. I like that whatever that thing is firing the, what's it called? The mine thrower. It's throwing whatever biological things that weapon fires, so it implies that weapon is based on, one of the enemy creatures, which I like. Ooh, narrow miss. Oh, that one didn't. Well, it's telling me to exit, so I'm assuming this is as far as I can go. Oh, it just kicks me out automatically. Okay. Well, that's all we get to do with the tank. Oh, and the snow just stopped existing. Oh. Oh, no, it's back. It's kind of back. It was back briefly. Oh, I was expecting the level to defocus. Oh, it's not the end of the level. Oh, okay. I was going to forgive the snow for disappearing if that was the end of the level and it was just going to defocus and cut to black. Ooh, intel. Finally saw my first Goliath. Makes a stalker look like a field mouse. The massive guns and armor look like something off a science fiction mag. Without tanks or other heavy weapons, open attack is suicide. Since each Goliath carries multiple spires, we had... Well, spires are pretty big. A Goliath must be fucking huge. We had to use hit-and-run tactics to beat it. Attacked with small squad and lured it away from the main force. We weren't a big enough target for it to launch spires, but we kept swooping in and attacking so it couldn't ignore us. Took nearly 2 hours, but we finally brought it down. 2 hours of continuous cat-and-mouse combat? I'm amazed you stayed alive that long. Oh, yep, ripped seat. Yeah, that type of chair always has a ripped seat. Nice detail. Alright, I guess I'm going upstairs. Won't even bother checking the elevator. I'm sure it doesn't work. Oh, my punch did more damage than I expected it to. And we have another office room. Don't see any intel. There's a chair there. Shit ton more ammo for the M5, which I really don't need because there's ammo every 5 steps. So this sort of just loops around. Oh my god. There's a lamp in the wall. Holy shit. I'm getting out of here. I hear you. Yes, there you are. Not much in here. Except a ton of ammo I can't carry. And more paintings in ugly frames. Oh, and then the level just ends. Okay. I just had to clear the area. Lead the target. Come on. That was kind of a cool shot. Now see, what was I just saying about a bunch of dudes in tanks? Looks like it works.
Arrived in London nearly unscathed. It was hard not to stare in awe at the tower.
Nearly unscathed?
London 6 months earlier, and now it was almost unrecognizable. The whole city was covered in snow. I knew the Chimera thrived in cold weather, but it was hard to fathom how they might actually be altering the climate itself.
Maybe it's just fake snow that they blow out of these towers.
The snow and the tower had to be related in some way.
Well,
There
yeah.
was no time to think about it. Their armies were already guarding the tower, and more would be coming. We set the tanks up in assault formation and started across Tower Bridge. The last tanks were crossing the bridge when we saw Goliaths approaching from behind.
How big actually is a Goliath? I'm not sure
Destroy
yet.
the bridge before they caught up to our tanks. Hale and a few other
Oh,
soldiers
that shot doesn't quite help.
positions while the charges were being set.
Captain Butler, Task 5 needs time to
Wow, I got shot in a cutscene.
detonation.
Understood, Command. A company will hold back the hordes.
Why don't you just hire people that actually have the accent you want?
Defensive posture.
Oh, God. I take it stalkers are going to become more common, and I have no rocket ammo. It's okay, I got plenty of people to distract it. Like that guy. Oh, damn it, he didn't live long enough. Okay, somebody pull its fire, please. Somebody? No, look at the guys in the building, please. Do the mines work? I mean, they're explosive, right? Not that the thing has enough range, but that appears to work. Oh, apparently I picked up rockets at some point. Does it make no sound when you put a rocket in, or is it just quiet enough I can't hear it over all the other crap? I don't know if that works. I just need more range. There. Underbarrel grenades are apparently effective as well. I just always forget I have them. Wow, you made it. I feel like they make you guys out of tissue paper. I wasn't expecting anyone to survive. Ooh, I got some rockets. Good. Hopefully it doesn't mean there's another stalker, and, it's not a stalker, it's one of these things. Okay. Oh, God, that's bad. Yeah, let's get that thing dead. Oh, that is too much zoom. I missed horribly the first time. I think the second one hit him. This is so zoomed in, I can't tell. And unlike the sniper rifle, I actually can't change the zoom of the rocket launcher. Oh, there's guys up here. Dudes, you're supposed to be watching my back. And If you can't count on generic nameless soldiers, who can you count on? He's not dead. I have a feeling rockets don't do much to those. Although, for that matter, neither does the sniper rifle. Especially when I can't see anything. Does it have a weak point I should be shooting, or... Oh, Jesus. Well, when I fought those in the tank, naturally it was quite a bit easier. Okay, is there any ammo over here? There's another building here. Please tell me there are rockets in here. I could really use them. Everybody shouting Stalker reminds me I need to play that game. I've never played any of them, and people assure me they're good. Stalker, there's Call of Pripyat, there's Clear Skies, and isn't there another one? Shadow of Chernobyl or something like that? I can never keep straight which one's which. I don't even know which one's the first one. I'd have to look it up. Just remembered, these rockets are steerable, and I haven't actually tried that yet. Mostly because I haven't needed to. They move so fast, and it's not like there's really long sight lines, so they hit their target in half a second anyway. I don't think I'd need to steer them. I mean, I know it slows down before, or while you're steering them, but I still don't really feel like it's needed. Stalker 2 down. Okay, I have 3 rockets. Do these do anything? I mean, it squeals when I hit it. Now, how about the Sapper? Have a taste of your own explosive globules. Which do not seem to do anything, because it's not even reacting. Oh, God! Wow! Well, they blow up chunkily. Oh, and then the level just ends. I was gonna look for health, damn it. Decent debris effect. They actually collided with the supports instead of just clipping through it. And we're back.
Delta, what's the status of A Company?
Mostly dead.
I'm not seeing any survivors. Hold on.
I'm holding.
Let me guess. Shaved head. Kind of quiet.
That could be pretty much anyone.
Sergeant Hale, rendezvous with Conduit team at Southern Bridge.
Shaved head and kind of quiet. It's apparently enough for her to be certain it's us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure lots of soldiers have shaved heads, but I'm just looking around for supplies. Okay, that does make a sound when you load it. It's just quiet enough you don't really hear it in combat. I feel like I've heard those snow footsteps before as well. Can't tell you exactly where I've heard them, but I'm certain I've heard them. Just kind of somewhat excusable, actually. I always complain about stock footsteps because footsteps are very easy to record, so just make new ones so that I'm not distracted by the fact that I've heard them before. But snow is a little more difficult in that snow is not readily available at all times, and depending on where you live, it might not be available any time of the year. So it's a little harder to get sounds of than, say, like concrete. There's no excuse for using a stock sound of walking on concrete. Like that shit's readily available. Hold still. Did that work? Does it take more than one? Oh no. Nice. Oh man, no. That slowdown, adding latency to the controls though, makes it completely useless. Like, why would you design it that way? It's just terrible. Well, the item there implies I can jump over there. I'll give it a shot. Ooh, I can. And there's dudes up here, which I wish I knew. Turret things, no big deal. Doesn't appear to be anything down there. Oh, oops. Sidestepped too far. I guess now I can look and confirm that indeed there's nothing there. Yeah, that's not very exciting. Anything under the stairs? Nope, Harry Potter isn't down there. Wait, I just swear I just heard one say no mercy. They speak English? I can't say I'd noticed them speaking English up to now. They just sort of make guttural noises, but that one clearly said no mercy.
Victor 1 to command. Victor forces have reached the tower. Engaging Chimerian defenses now. Stalkers on site. Recommend air command maintain safe distance.
Yeah, definitely emphasis on the air support maintaining a distance, because they seem to get shot down instantaneously every time, which makes me wonder why we even bother with air units. You know, you guys are just not particularly threatening. You'd be much more effective if you had a weapon. It's very weird that you don't. Pretty much everything else is carrying a weapon, except like the leapers and rollers, but that's because they don't have hands.
Opportunity window for safe recovery is closing. Grayskin proximity to Pandora presents unacceptable risk. Commit to recovery of Grayskin and any other targets of opportunity.
Charges placed here. Yes. Abutments are iron-reinforced concrete. Yeah. Single simultaneous detonation at marked locations should result in total collapse. Yeah, I mean, iron-reinforced concrete isn't exactly exotic. Pretty sure explosives will do it.
X-ray 4, come in. X-ray 4, do you read? First coordinates 88 by 17. Red anti-air cover is unknown. Proceed with caution. Report status upon recovery.
You know, these little bits of radio we're getting are hinting at just enough... They're hinting at like a subplot that's actually really interesting. And every time I go, I wish there was more of this. Instead of generic British narrator just telling us what we already know. Or what we're about to do, and thus we'll know in the near future. Ooh, I see another. If I can hit it. I'm not sure where it is. No? Is that a different one? Did it move? I don't know, this whole shooting through walls thing just isn't particularly useful. Because I'm never quite sure if I'm even hitting them. Man, it is really weird that the snow has motion blur when it feels like nothing else really does. I mean, I noticed that in the tank, but here in first person it's especially obvious. I mean, the snow does look really good. It's just distracting that it kind of doesn't match everything else in terms of movement. And now it's just magically disappeared. If I go back, does the snow come back? Is it just locational or no? Oh, yes it does. Yep. And it does actually look really realistic. But then if I go over here, it just fades out. Okay. That looks less good.
The outlook of the battle was growing bleaker by the second.
Really?
Our tanks had...
We've been doing really well so far.
But still they poured out of the tower. The Chimerian forces were holding us in check, while their Goliaths closed in on Southwark Bridge. With Tower Bridge destroyed, there was no possibility of retreat. The team I sent to destroy Southwark Bridge was not responding. It would only be a matter of time before we heard the spires in the air.
So, not really any new information here. It's still just Goliaths are close, and that's bad.
Hale, come in. Hale, do you read? Cartwright's team is lost.
Well, did they check the map?
Job at Southwark Bridge. If those Goliaths reach us, they'll infect the entire operation.
And of course, it's all down to the protagonist, as usual. Oh my god, they're getting more aggressive. They don't usually just run right at me like that when I back up. Are you dead? Yes? Okay. Thank you for not smoking. Oh yeah, look at that smug twat. Need manpower? Call Kelly Friday. Kelly Friday Temp Services. I'll keep that in mind. What does this say? In the event of a raid, do not rush, take shelter calmly, then others will do the same. Actually, that's pretty good advice. There's a soldier instructing a small child to be calm. Remember, be calm and others will do the same. Oh my god, we're gonna die. Electric railway. My god, it's the future. Something in Sun's Cove. Famous pile cream. Johnny's pile cream. Nice. Oh, the atomic mass experiment. Omniversal Pictures presents. This is where I can pull out the rifle and make a pitiful attempt at sniping, and they're already somewhere else. I'm already mostly dead. Oh, that did it though. Now I am dead because they all have augers. Yeah, maybe fuck the sniper rifle in here. It's a little too close quarters for that. Let's see. How about the Sapper? And ooh, I do have hedgehogs. God, I wish this thing had more range. Ooh, yep. Run right into my trap, you fool. And that's really weird. The AI straight up can't see the Sapper mines, which is... Wow. He was spring-loaded. It's very odd, especially when, as far as mines go, these ones are really fucking obvious. I mean, they're like huge globules. They're not even like little flat things that just sort of attach to the wall that maybe you could miss. I mean, they're like huge, round, and jiggling. I guess I could just lure them up this choke point, which they seem to be playing along with. Yep. Okay. So I feel like enemies are doing more damage than they were. If it feels like I'm just running out in the open like an idiot, that's because I am. Because so far the game's been really easy and I haven't had to worry about taking fire because it just doesn't do much. It seems like the game's maybe ramped up how much damage enemies are doing. Because suddenly it feels like my health is draining really quickly when this whole game I've not even really been paying attention because it's too easy. Sapper mines. Should be better if they could fire farther. I don't know, it's kind of bugging me. The weapons in this game are kind of interesting, except every single one of them has some kind of major limitation. This thing's limitation is its low rate of fire makes it not particularly fun. The bullseye's problem is that its low accuracy, if you're not using a homing tag, is not particularly fun. The shotgun is pretty fun, except its limitation is you don't get enough ammo for it. The Hailstorm is fun, except you don't get enough ammo for it. The Auger is nice. I can't say I really have any complaints against the Auger, except that its projectiles are too slow. There, I thought of one. The rocket launcher is, well, it's a rocket launcher. It's only useful in certain situations. The Far Eye is nice, except that the slowdown adds latency to the controls most of the time, and you don't get enough ammo for it, which is a running theme. And the Sapper is cool, except that its range is so pathetic that at anything other than point blank, you have to basically look straight into the sky. They all have some kind of major limitation that keeps me from thinking they're awesome, you know? That's a thing I would hope to see the second and third game do better. There's creative ideas here. Like, all these weapons have some sort of interesting idea. I guess except the M5, because it's just a basic gun, but like the bullseye with the homing tag, that's cool. The Auger shooting through walls and having a force field that only it can shoot through, that's cool. The mine launcher being this sort of organic globules thing is interesting. Like, the creativeness is there, but the execution is just not quite dope. It's fine, but it's not amazing. And in a world full of amazing shooters, fine kind of isn't good enough.
Goliaths are crossing the Thames now. No sign of Task 5 or Sergeant Hale. Crawlers are all over the ice. I don't see how anyone could survive.
He'll be there, Delta. Fall back to pick it.
Let's play with the Hailstorm a little bit. See, like the Hailstorm's secondary fire, the auto turret, in theory, that's awesome. I really like that idea. But in execution, I think I've only done it once, for the simple reason that it's a huge waste of ammo because it vents your entire magazine, and you just don't get enough ammo for this thing. Oh wait, those have the stupid shield. Yeah, they do have the stupid shield. There. So it's like, I would love to be using the Hailstorm more and firing auto turrets behind cover and stuff. But I kind of can't. I mean, I could, but I could only do it like twice, and then I wouldn't be able to do it all for like an hour before the game decides to give me some more Hailstorm ammo. So I'm getting like 1 pack per level for that thing, which, you know, when one auto turret dumps the whole mag, that's not enough. But man, it sure likes giving me bullseye ammo. In fact, it gives me more bullseye ammo than I could possibly be using, even if it was the only gun I shot every single enemy in the game with. There'd still be too much of it. It's very odd, although it is the kind of thing that definitely could be polished by the second game. I'm actually really looking forward to playing 2 and 3. Because although I've complained about a few things in this game, make no mistake, I'm enjoying the hell out of this. If I'd played this in 2006, it would have blown my mind. I can tell you that right now. Even now, like, obviously this game's old as shit, but even now I'm really liking this. But it does fall short of brilliance. So far I can say there's really not a single thing this game does exceptionally. But the sum of the parts here is certainly enough to be very entertaining. But that's exactly the kind of framework that leaves you open for a sequel being pretty badass, because sure, nothing here is amazing, but nothing here is particularly crap either. So it wouldn't take much improvement. All you gotta go in is you gotta go in there and you tighten stuff up a little bit. You know, you just kind of make this a little better, tweak this a bit. You just go in there and tighten a few things, and this would go from being good to great. And it wouldn't take a whole lot to do that. So I have a feeling the sequels might be really good. Or it's possible they fucked them up spectacularly. But if they did, I think I would have heard about it. Why was the detonator, like, 5 feet away from the explosion? That was a terrible idea. Could have easily been killed by debris. In fact, we very nearly were.
We could have used that.
I know. I was only trying to disable it.
You've got a funny idea of doing that.
We have to catch that Goliath.
Oh, great. British guy is back. He's my favorite, because he's British. What else do we know about Cartwright, really?